It has been the longest off-season of SRA. The rust has been wiped off and the cars are revved up and ready to go. Welcome to SRA.
We're off and away for SRA.
Good evening, ladies and germs, and welcome back to the penultimate round of Season 8 of our GT3 Team Series here at SRA. As usual, I'm Jess Osborne. I'm joined by Selena Boonstra and Rafael Astolfo. The old crew is reunited at last. How are y'all doing?
I'm doing good for today.
I'm doing just fine. Thank you for having me back here at the booth tonight. You might see that I'm supposed to be in this race, but let's just call it I don't have a car. My car never made it to Indianapolis, so I'm up here in the booth.
Hate it when that happens. Wait, how does
Yep.
that happen in a game? This sounds
You
like a
know,
driver issue to me.
I'm just gonna blame it on the team.
They didn't do their job.
Yeah, the truck stopped somewhere, or the flight, if you're gonna call it, from Olden Park to here. So hopefully we'll be back, ready for Watkins Glen next week. But for now, we're good.
Well, shame to hear, but glad you could at least join us here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And we are in Indianapolis, of all places. This is kind of the wild card, in my opinion, of the season, because it's relatively new to ACC. I know I'm not alone in having so little experience going around through here, and besides the experience, it's just a wild card and how different it is to the typical kind of tracks that the ACC drivers used to. I expect. How many times have you heard me say this before? But if last night's any indication, tonight's going to be some pretty chaotic racing.
Oh
Yeah,
that's
I
for
will
sure.
agree with you. The broadcast last night, well, you guys were in. Kind of a few things happened in lap one, but
Yeah.
it is one of the newer tracks, along with Coda earlier in the season and the Glen next week. But it's still really fun once you get on the flow of it. That's what I'll say. It's a really
Oh
fun
yeah.
track
For
to get over
sure.
with. So
Yeah.
And before our drivers start putting in their qualifying laps, let's look at the standings. Jared Steckham still leading the charge right now, 783 points, with a huge lead over John Archie in P2 and Zach Martin in P3 for the overall championship. And for the silver championship in the driver's standings, it's Caleb Yarrington with 314 points, Jared Troxclair with 290, and Max Diggs with 235. And those fights are a lot closer.
yeah, being part on the field on these, these guys easily considered D1 drivers. I'd say some of these guys have a lot of
I
pace,
bet.
and you kind of I'm like humbled. I'm like, hey, what do I do? What am I doing here? And sometimes I try to keep up with them a couple of rounds in the season, but I know individual drivers like Landon, Joel, and Andrew, they're at top three. They've been super killing it lately, man, and it's hard to keep up with these guys. So,
Yeah, they're top shelf drivers.
They
yep.
are crazy fast.
And for the team standings, Ghost Rider Racing, the M Power Rangers in the BMW. That's what I should have. Those points I was reading off. That's what. Unfortunately, those are teams.
Individual.
Sorry about that.
Yep.
I started with individual. Ghost Rider Racing Crater Crawlers. with Guy Manperson and John Archie in P2, and Zach Martin and Jeremy Reeder in P3. And with that out of the way, I think our drivers are hitting the field now.
Yeah, it looks like they're just getting their first lap, and it looks like number 30 leading that pack, and that would be Mr. Platt. So it'll be interesting to see what the pace is compared to some of the pace of the last night's events. We'll see how close they can get to D1 pace here. I could say that some of these drivers can get pretty up there, like I said. So
I'm sure they'll be within a second of D1 pace.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
I see Dunham, second driver, looks like he'll be coming around that last sector on sector 3. It's getting this whole qualifying session started. One thing I noticed, I mean, you guys were there. How did you guys think about the track? I mean, I guess state, well, how for qualifying, because you saw it's on fast. It's gonna actually take all the way almost to mid of gold qualifying to get into optimum. And how did you guys do as far as qualifying goes on your guys' side?
For me, I had a little bit of issues that I look back and realized that I was actually on TC3 because I genuinely thought the track was still fast because I was still sliding. There was lack of grip, but I think it was on optimum afterwards when the golds went out. So I realized I put it back in TC4, so I salvaged a little bit from that. But the track after that was actually pretty good at qualifying. Even though I didn't really have the best of qualifying because of that issue. But yeah, the track was actually pretty good.
I didn't actually put in as many laps as I possibly could have, so I don't know how it was feeling towards the end because I didn't put in enough fuel.
Well, towards the end is when the track got hot, and so we kept looking at the broadcast, saw a couple of greens come up on the deltas and I know a couple of guys put in some pretty good laps there towards the end, but we just noticed that he took literally like 15 whole minutes just to get that a little bit better. And then I think it was noticeable towards the end.
Yeah, it was a little bit. Yeah.
We do have Troxler there with a provisionary pole. 36.297. That's pretty good for a first lap there, and he's about to, I mean, he's going for a second lap, about to go through a little bit. Not improving from what I see, so.
Max Diggs is up 4/10 on his lap right now. I know, of course, as soon as I say it, he loses some of it.
Maybe he'll catch up back on turn. Ooh, yeah. He was still moving up, maybe P6 now, maybe. That's a close, maybe not. Yeah, he did. Yeah, just by basically the same lap times. Ow.
This Lambo looks like a rave. Okay, it fixed itself. Was that a lighting bug or something?
I think it was a lighting bug that just kind of, what's going on there in Indianapolis? They kind of
having a good time, that's what.
Party in the Lambo.
I don't think he was flashing the lights either.
Cody Platt finding a whole hell of a lot of time towards the tail end of his lap. He was 5/10 up. A little bit slipping through his hands now, down into 4/10, 3/10. No, Cody, keep it together.
2/10. He's got a couple more corners to go.
He should at least go to P2 here. But Troxler is improving the heck out of his time, so he might be P2, but then Troxler is going to open up a little bit of a gap for P1.
Cody Platt just lost a 10th. But, oh, he lost pretty much all that time.
He's on the
ropes.
ropes.
Oh,
that's going to give it another go.
How far behind? Here comes Colin Dunham, though. He's going to go the distance to 5/10.
Look at Dunham coming through just right now. Watch. Look at that.
He won, baby.
He won.
Oh,
right to the top.
36 flat. Great time.
Russell Allen with a whole second of improvement.
And he goes to P8, so Hartman down to P9 now. But yeah, they're all still green on the deltas there. The need for most of the part is going to change quite a bit with another 2.5 minutes left to go. So, and Moffat hasn't been put in a valid lap yet, so he should be coming through soon. And Anderson also. We'll see what they can do. flat now, kind of getting a little bit of a revenge on this lap. He's about half a second he lost now.
Almost.
But he should be going up way up there along with Troxler in the top 3 if he can keep this up. Still got some ways to go. What did you guys think about using curbs here last night? Was this something that you guys were maybe thinking about losing pressure, or you just kind of? Well, I mean, you guys have the Porsche.
I hit everything but the sausage
Yeah.
curbs on the
Yeah.
I
really
hit
tight corners.
everything.
This car just
I-
bouncing right up.
It just eats it. Just glide right
Yeah.
over it
Yeah,
as
it
long as you
does.
don't. As long as you have your weight on the opposite tires that are on the track, you're fine. The suspension just absorbs
Yeah.
the bumps.
It just eats it, yeah. I just took it all because I knew I was just taking tires anyway, so I'm like, yep, I'm just gonna send it and send it again.
And Diggs about to come through a little bit. He might jump a few spots. Let's see. Yep, 2 spots. P5 for Diggs. And again, everybody on the green delta right now from the looks of it, so maybe the track is getting a little bit rubbered in, even though it's still on a fast. But also their tires getting better. And Yarrington as well. Oh, he lost it there. He was improving, but Troxler wants that pole back if he can keep that up. Russell Allen looks like he's off. He's going to be trying it again.
Their trucks there coming into sector 3 with almost 3/10 gain. Now he's slipped down to 2. It'll still be a welcome improvement. That'll be enough to take provisional pole off Colin Dunham.
Yeah, he
Oh,
lost there on
through
exit,
again.
but
Like a fistful of
very
sand
close though. I think he'll take it.
by a hair, by 7
oh my-
thousandths.
Of a sec.
And that's going to do
On
it
his
for
last
the
try.
silver drivers, isn't it?
Yep, that's about it. And Diggs is improving. He might actually take pole if he can keep this up
Oh, it's huge.
on his Porsche.
Half a second.
Huge. Yeah, that's a pole lap right here. He's coming through with a pole.
Big
Provisional.
lap.
Yep, right to P1 he goes.
He's very
Just
relieved pulling
totally-
over there. That's what he's looking for.
Troxler was like, I got this, and then he just totally messed up his party.
Looks
And then
like the last
Mofat's
one.
coming through in the end, but he improves a bit, but not enough to move, so he's still P10. And the golds are out. We'll see what they can do.
Oh, yeah. See if it's close or like even by a full second.
It's like Semedo is running the gold pack as he's leading everybody out there. Just behind him looks like Jason Allen.
And the track looks even darker from above than it does in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, see, never mind. Couldn't tell what was the inside and what was the outside there.
So dark.
And you got to say that Indy does have a few, I mean, not too many, but a few lights around the track. It
Yeah.
helps a little bit. Next week at the Glen's going to be interesting to see how that goes.
Yeah, that track is dark in the
Pitch
night.
black.
Oh yeah. But I'm excited for that. I love night racing and I also love the Glen. So that one's gonna be fun.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Season finale. Can't wait for that. That's going to be ultimate.
Oh yeah, it will be exciting things.
And we're taking a little bit of a ride along with Semedo. He has been on fire. He's just a few points behind Landon for the individual championship, and it's only 8 points, and it could easily change now coming around this. And then they're going to take this to the last, well, basically to next week on the finale. It's going to be interesting to see.
Definitely. Yeah, he's having a great season.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he's only got to beat him by, what, like 2 or 3 positions, depending on where on the board they are. If he beats him by 1 spot for, like, P1 and 2 or 2 versus 3, he's got it, I think.
Yep. 8 points is roughly about 10 and about 8 between those. So, and then you got, if you got a qualifying, if you get pole and in the fastest lap of the race, you get an extra point there too. So
It'll
they got to
come down
take
to the wire.
every point matters at the end. So
Yep.
and Tomato's going to be coming through. We'll see what kind of lap he'll be putting through to start his qualifying here. Right up to P5, good start for him. Low 36 is not bad.
P11 for
Jason
Jason
Allen there.
Allen.
Yep. So the golds are starting to split all the silvers there on top of Marecki also. That's a P6, pretty good lap for being first lap.
Tomato up by 3/10, and his time is only growing just by a little bit, but lost it at that corner. I'm not sure what corner that is. Yeah. Oh, that was in the 4/10s.
Yeah, he's not messing around, and
That's for sure.
And again, the one I would say, the person he's fighting for the lead is Dreebs, and he should be improving his time. So first lap on his BMW wasn't necessarily his best try, but Semeto's just coming out with swinging here. He's about to take the lead by 200ths of a second if he can keep that up. So
Up by 6/10 now, so he's a firecracker at the moment.
yeah, this is gonna take him like to you can keep this up here almost in the mid 35s. That is a hell of a lap.
Wow.
He lost a little bit, but this is going to give him pole. And track is still fast. Again, we'll see when it turns optimal. Maybe they'll be shooting. So there he goes. Yep, 35, 635. My goodness.
Wow.
What is he doing in D2? That's not fair.
Right? And Python, to answer your question, there's 25 drivers online right now.
Yeah, and
There's
not
Landon.
as many drivers as we would see, but yep, there he is. Put it in P6. He needs to keep that lead. That's what he's looking for. He wants to keep that small gap, and hopefully, again, nothing happens at the race start like we saw yesterday. But you know, sometimes things happen. Now, we do have qualifying here at night, but for you guys that's just joining us, the race will be at 8 a.m. So you will have some right at sunrise, from what I remember last night. Just the sun barely coming through, and then eventually getting a little hotter.
Yep.
So make sure your PSIs are on the low ends of things.
Yep.
You don't want to overcook that towards later in the race. So
Not a good thing at Indy, that's for sure.
yeah, and Boardman also, look at that. He put a great lap there. Took that P2, sent Diggs to P3. You guys drive the Porsche, and I can see you can just almost.
You have any idea how
depending
much
on-
restraint it's taken me to not bring it up? How good it is for the Porsches to be on top right now?
Yeah, I'm just saying right now, like, you know, I've tried driving the Porsche. It's not my style, so I tend to stay away from that car. I need to have a certain set of skills, so it's not my drive style.
Yeah, it's a beast, that's for sure.
Josh Damiani right on their heels, putting in an identical lap time to Max Diggs.
And then Marecki sends it to P2 on his McLaren. And there was also yesterday on D4, there was also 2 drivers that got the same exact time. I think it was Wagner, I believe. But so look at that, twice in 2 nights, exact times. And that was almost an even 36, so that would have been even funnier. It was 36.002.
Wow.
And track is optimal now with 2 minutes left in qualifying. So this is when everybody wants to push, get that small little if you're kind of getting a little loose in some corners, they might get a little bit better grip now that it's optimal. So, and Dabiani right now is still a little bit to go, but he's got his delta quite well too.
Matt
Lost
Schwartz is
bit
on a
of
mega
game
lap
again.
right now, 7/10 up.
Yeah, he is.
It's up for P3 if he brings it home.
And we know he's got some speed, that's
Oh,
for sure.
and he lost it there.
Ah.
A lot.
Oh, yeah, I hate to see it.
Oh, and he's back though.
He's back
In
up.
it out.
He's going to jump a lot of spots if he can keep this up. And we know who's doing well now. I'll go back. I'll get a picture.
Oh no, he invalidated the lap.
No.
2 corners away from the finish line. Oh my gosh. Well, you got one more go.
Worst feeling ever.
And Marecki also validated his lap on the last turn. And that would have been a pole. So Semedo is breathing a little better now.
Andrew Wilson's
Still
up
time
next.
for another one. Yep. Everybody. Wilson is a huge improvement. And he's got pretty good speed out of the turn. He's losing some time, but he might go pretty close to P3, maybe P4.
Well, Guy Manperson
P5.
just snagged P1.
P1, Manperson just
Ooh.
came through and like nothing.
Out of nowhere.
Look at that AMG
Hello.
power. And Semedo is not improving, and Marecki either, and this is their last lap. So, Manperson right now with pretty good chances of getting that pole in the AMG. Only other person I see on the field with a little bit of a chance now is Archie, P6. And lost a bit of time now, though. And we'll see the AMG offense at the top, and then Pearson just said, well, I'll show you a little bit of difference. And it's a 35.522 that AMG too, so that is a heck of a lot.
And time has run out. Only anybody on a valid lap right now will get to complete it. And Matt Anastasi's making it count right now. He's got 4/10. That will be good for maybe 3 spots. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
A little
there
bit
he
further
goes.
away
And
from the back.
Dreves. Look what
And
Dreves did with his
Schwartz is up
BMW.
right beside
Put himself right next to Semedo there at the top. You know, he's not going down without a fight, he said.
This is going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, we'll see.
Fight.
Yeah, Anderson coming through with a pretty good lap there. He might jump quite a few spots, too.
Looper does just that. P22 to P16 and bonk.
16.
Didn't see
And
that
Anderson.
roadblock.
Oof, P5 and Boorman.
Oh,
He's
this is
almost
huge.
snagging pole.
Huge.
This is a big lap.
Push. That
It
was
might
too
be
late last corner.
P3. This might be a P3.
P4.
P4.
By a hair.
So close.
2,000ths. What a close
Oh my
qualifying
God.
session.
Wow, that's so close for the top 5. Wow, actually
Well,
top 6.
They pushed hard after that track went optimum status. They're like, let's do this. Yeah, not bad. Pretty
Push
good. That was a great
everything.
session. And nice. We got some daytime here at Indy after that night session.
Rise and shine. It's race day.
Look at that. Men Pearson with that pole. Semedo P2. Draves again. He said, I'm leading the championship. I'm not going to go down that easy. P3 and then Borman. Heck of a lap there at the end with the Porsche P4. He is the first Porsche there at the top. And then Marecki, Anderson, Damiani, Wilson, Archie, and Jason Allen, and Schwartz. And then we talked about Diggs earlier having that pole. And look at all the Go drivers just got right in front of him. So he's P1 for 10 minutes and then P12 because, again, that was a little bit of a benefit on the optimum track conditions there at the end. So we'll see. Yeah, this is going to be, how many drivers? We have 25 drivers.
A little bit on the low end today. Usually there's, I think, almost 40 drivers, about 38, 37
Yeah,
drivers.
usually in the 30s.
Yeah.
I'm
Quite a
not
few drivers
surprised
didn't make
it's a bunch of drivers might be calling this their drop race. Just due to
Is
the
it
lack
because
of
of
the car?
experience and the
I can
carnage.
see that.
And maybe
It's
the car.
Indy.
Yep.
Yep.
So there's quite a mix here as opposed to D4 from what I remember. So Drapes put his BMW up there. Last night I saw a bunch of Porsches and McLarens all the way
30
to
seconds.
P13 to get things started. And here we have basically 3 Lambos on the top 10. We got 2 AMGs. We have a lone
20
BMW
seconds.
with Drapes. And then, yeah, it's quite a mix here. But Ferrari's not doing so well here. Apparently we know that there's a pretty high BOP here for the 296s,
10
and
seconds.
Looper just there P16 for the first Ferrari on the field. So
If Guy Manperson can bring it home in P1, he's only P12 in the driver standings right now, but I think he could reach the top 10 if he does that. And as we mentioned before, Joao Semedo, if he can beat Landon Reeves by 1 or 2 positions, depending on where they are in the field, he can also snag driver P1 from Landon.
yeah, and you're right. So him putting himself there at the top is gonna create a few things. And again, let's say we have Dreves and Semedo there, 1 and 2. But yeah, man, Pearson's just yeah. I'll put my AMG here at the lead just to
Shake things up.
ruin you guys' party.
You know Joao and Landon are sweating right now.
Oh,
starting.
yeah.
And you know that, well, if you take a look at the whole thing, you know, they're obviously Semedo's there on first row, and Dreves is just gonna keep a very close eye on him because he has the inside line. You gotta remember that. So Dreves has the inside line at the start, and if he can get a better start to T1, they're gonna go together on turn 1, and yeah, we'll see. Hopefully nothing happens. We'll just keep that in that. So. And 8 a.m. race time. 1 hour to go, folks. 21 degrees.
Right in
track
the-
temperatures. Oh yeah, and it's gonna go up quite a bit. So we know how ACC loves to make it look like you're on ice skates if you're not on that range. So
True.
hopefully everybody's got
Yeah.
their pressures dialed in. Hope for a good race. See Jason out there on P10 and his teammate Russell out. He's finally made his way back. He missed a couple of rounds this season. He's made back this time, which is nice to see.
And we are lining up 2 by 2, 2 corners away from the start straight.
Here we go. Here we go. Let's go. Let's get started on D2.
The penultimate round.
Mm-hmm.
It's flown by so quickly.
It really
Yeah,
has.
this season's going like nothing. It's just like, oh my god, 1 round to go already. And it's like
Yeah.
August just flew by apparently, and then
It did.
basically already here
crazy.
again. It's sort of like, sheesh. Let's go.
Already season 9 is kind of around the corner in, I guess, 4 or 5 weeks, depending how long the break will be, but we'll see.
Green light, go, go,
But
go.
for now, we are off and away for SRA at Indianapolis. And both of our leaders got a very even start. They're going to be side by side to the first corner. Who's going to be braver on the brakes?
You always look at Dreves on the inside. Oh, so close.
Joao might have
very
this.
clean so far.
Oh,
Oh,
no!
sure.
It's exactly what we didn't want to happen.
Oh.
But he lives,
He's on
though.
track. He's okay.
He's still on track.
He lives. Yes, he is. He was able to salvage that. Like, oh man, that was close. He dropped to P4, so he's not too bad. But
Matt Schwartz,
almost like the
however,
drivers
if
at
you
the
can
front
catch
just
that in
shoved
the
him.
replay, he just went all the way to the back of the pack.
let's take a look.
Might have to go
pull it
back
up.
30 seconds now.
I'll go back on 30 on the picture. In picture, he got tapped. Turn 1 tap. Yep. So he's I got him right at the end, but yeah, he was just turn 1 shenanigans we normally see. He just got tapped on the inside, but he's no major damage, which is nice. So he's back on early enough to catch up. So
My man person started looking a little damaged from that turn 3 scuffle. I wonder if he's going to pit early to dodge or get rid of this damage. I wonder if he's going to throw a wrench in his plans.
and Looper was also off track for a bit, but he's okay. They're coming all together on the sector 3 right-hander there. It's a dangerous turn. You get all together bunched up, and you're kind of scary. Some guys are heading to the pits. They're like, I'm out of here.
Oh, many of them. Wow.
Yeah, they're not dealing with this.
Yeah. Too many shenanigans on the first few laps with that amount of cars.
Yeah, I see here we have Mareki, Wilson, Droxberry, Arrington, Looper, Schwartz, and Anderson Olsen. We're going to get our little race going. You guys can go ahead.
They're piling into the pits. Yeah, there's so many of them. I didn't realize.
No, who's enjoying this now is Semedo, who's there on P1, and then Boardman, who jumped basically from the whole team 2 positions ahead of Dreves. It was in P3 still, so he's closely following him. Not too bad, but there's a large points difference between P1 and P3, so that would give Semedo the lead on the championship if it stays like this.
Oh no, John Archie and
Jason Allen.
Oh, it's a big pile up.
Oh boy.
Oh.
I will catch the
I'll go back a
replay
few here.
from the helicam. The TV cam. Oh, whoa,
man,
whoa!
Jeez.
Looks like a little bit of a send there, and then, oh man, a lot of drivers got hit too.
Very awkward. I think that's going to send a new wave of drivers into the pits.
Yeah, probably. We'll see how many comes around as they're coming down to turn 3, but Jason Allen stayed out, so he's okay. Maybe the tap wasn't as much as you would be. By the way, Dreep's fastest lap of the race. He's only driver on the 36s, so he's gunning for that win.
Just getting started.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, clumsy move. Polly, who's that? Matt Anastasi tried to go up the inside of Polly and ended up having to go off track.
And then, yep, he's lost 2 spots. He's P17.
Left him vulnerable to Jason Allen. Takes P16 off.
No, that was Russell Allen. Jason Allen's P13.
Excuse me, yes. Russell
Yes.
Allen.
Okay. No, yes, there we go. Yes. And then Allen, yeah, ahead of him. Yes, correct. And Allen, Jason Allen's still doing okay. And Boardman's following Semedo there for just half a second behind. And Dreves about a second behind Boardman, so those guys up there. And Van Pearson, after that little tap, he's still hovering up there, so wasn't that big of a deal. He almost went wide, like into the grass, and that would have been disastrous. But he was able to keep it together, so.
Oh, look at this. Russell Allen goes a bit deep there. Matt Anastasi on the hunt, but nowhere to go to get around him. And behind them, Moffitt
drivers on the pit. Moffitt goes into the pit. He's out of there.
Cody Platt into the pits too.
Platt. And looking at Archie, by the way, he is P6. Looks like he might have been tapped a little bit early. Got a little bit of sidecar damage on the left-hand side, but doesn't look like it's affecting him as much. But Anderson's just glued. Not too far back at all.
looks like Looper spent about 25 seconds of repairs. He was in the pits a lot, stopped in the pits a lot longer than everybody else was.
Yeah, he was that one that had well, it looks like it was hit on turn 1 there. So yeah, he's lost a lot of time.
Oh, we got nearly a side-by-side re-entry in the out of the pits there. Cody Platt
Right, and
exiting
Anderson.
right in front of Anderson.
And Anderson's right on his tail.
Eric Boardman right on the tail of Joao still. Oh, looks up the inside and he sends it in turn 1. It goes way too hot into the grass.
Oh,
Falls back on track where he
close.
was. And Landon Dreves now looking at sharpening his forks.
that was close. Does that remind me of something that happened yesterday? Oh man, battle for P1. Something similar happened, almost created a big issue, but they're safe. Everything looks good.
Diego said, my man tries the iRacing line to no avail.
How wide can you go into turn 1? Just cut through the grass. And that gave Semedo a pretty good, well, he opened up about a second gap now, and Boardman was closing up, but so that cost him about half a second. Now Dreves was sliding. Man, look at that. Every time I see Dreves drive, he's just purposely drifting around the track. I always
I
remember
remember that from last season.
Yeah,
in
he
his,
is just
Ferrari.
man. Yep. And he's able to keep it in, like, basically holding onto the car as his, like,
Every
own purpose.
time. Somehow he just manages to catch that drift every single time. He's a drift master, apparently.
No, he should be on a mid-engine car. He will probably enjoy the heck out of it even more if he's.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
if you can catch slides. Yeah.
Yep.
And he does that on his BMW. He's like, all right then, folks, I'll get that going.
Style
Look at
points for today.
And Pearson and Damiani Damian is super close there on the straight. If he keeps this up, Damiani's gonna probably attempt an overtake next lap. That tap on Man Pearson on turn 1 doesn't look like there was any major damage or anything. He stayed out without repair, so he didn't go to the pit, so it was just a little bit of a shove from the looks of it. Dreves like P3 there. He is just, I think he knows he might have a little bit better pace than Boardman, but barely any. But that's giving Semedo room to open up the gap for P1. And, you know, these guys are going to have to nail their pits. You know, that 1 second is all it takes for positions to swap. So
Yes, every second matters,
yeah.
and a second loss in the pits is worse than a second loss on track, because you can block on track.
That happened last night with Bird
To me.
and Dudley. Yes, they swap positions just straight on pit stop. So
I nearly let Austin Whitestarver pass me, even though I had 3 seconds going into the pits. He exited the pits half a second behind because I didn't nail it. Almost mattered.
don't you all get like a sigh of relief when your car just lifts right off the bat when you stop it?
Yes.
Like, oh, he didn't move it.
I'm holding my breath like the 5 seconds
It's
before.
like, don't move my car. It just lift it, please. It's like, I did park it on the right spot. Come on, dude. Why are you moving my car to the side for? You know, like, just change my damn tires. Like, come on.
Exactly. Let's just change them. We gotta go. We gotta go.
Put some fuel in and let's go. Don't be moving my car. Come on.
That was long enough.
ACC things.
Place to be, people to beat.
Yes, exactly. Now look at following. Right now we got Diggs and Dunham. Very close. Dunham getting super close.
Python says, is the undercut strong here?
Strong
It
everywhere.
can be. Yeah. As long as you have like the pace and then you just hit it a lot earlier than most would, like the front runners, then I mean there is a possibility 100% for any track really.
It's all about how soon the back markers end up being a problem and how much of a problem they are to the people you're undercutting. That's it. Rolling the dice.
Yep.
And just checking in on what he said. I almost have to pit up already. Have to field actually. Counting
Almost,
8
yeah.
drivers. So yeah, I mean quite a bit for this early. So and yeah, a couple of drivers with a very long pit. Again, Looper there at the end, but a couple of drivers nailing their stops like Marecki, Troxler, Yarrington, Moffat. They've all nailed their pit stops with about 5 seconds. So Archie with the fastest lap of the race, a 36.365 in his best 36.392. So Archie on his AMG is just on a mission now.
Well, I see the best is a 36.292.
292, yes, as his best, and his last lap was also a 36.365. So he is gunning it, and he's trying to make as much ground as he can. He's not too far behind from Damiani there and Pearson. So it's good for him. He's able to, I guess, not battling anybody, just kind of hot lapping on his own too. He catches up to that train, so. And that gap to P1 with Semedo on the lead, still that 1.5 seconds. But then Borman leading that mini train there with Dreevesman, Pearson, and Damiani very close together. This is a scenario where, I don't know, if I'm Dreves here, I'll probably head into the pit and take my chances with that group that was there earlier, that went into the pit earlier, so.
It's like Semedo's really catching on the one of the back markers on Looper, and not a problem for Semedo as he gets by Looper.
Leaving the back train to deal Looper. Lavi trying to find a better place in the track to be out of the way, as he did spend that extra time fixing the pits. But Looper's got some good pace too, so he's not going to just open up and just completely let him go. He needs to worry, maybe catch up himself.
Oh yeah, he's got to fight for it.
And now the little guy gives him the blue flag, but you know, still Borman, Dreves, they're pretty far out, but he does move out of the way. And Pearson and Al and Damiani, just look at how close they. I mean, Damiani's just kind of hovering around there behind Van Pearson for the whole time, but he hasn't been able to find a way around them. So they've got different strains at different parts of the track.
Landon is just about reeled in Eric. Is that a blue flag getting in the way there? Or no,
That
not
is a
getting
blue
in the way.
flag.
Trying to get out of the way. Oh,
Yes.
but he cuts in front
But
of
that was
Looper.
Oh.
Cuts in front of Guy Manperson. And meets
was,
Josh Damiani. They're side by side. Josh is like, what's going
Damiani
on?
says,
Please
"Please
get out of
let
the
me
way.
through."
No! And he's through. Oh my goodness.
He had to go on the outside, so you know, even if the person on the, I mean, they slow down, it's still not the best line to take. And you can see there Archie just caught up now, but Archie's stuck behind Looper.
Last man to try, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Looks like he'll take the inside and let Archie through.
Oh,
And he,
let him through
that
right
was
before
close.
the apex.
He just switched right on time, right? Not too late, but also didn't lose that much time, so.
True.
I'll switch to picture in picture. Looks like Diggs, by the way. He is holding off Dunham there, like very close. So Diggs has some front end damage, and that might have been for early, as you can see there. Looks like Dunham almost sent it on the inside, but Dunham just backs off for now. But yeah, definitely Diggs does have some front end damage on his Porsche. So.
Josh Damiani was thinking about going on the inside, but Guy Manperson goes deep anyway. And Eric Boardman also goes deep in the next corner. Guy Manperson is through. Josh Damiani wants to do the same, but he can't find the speed up the outside of the apex. He's got... Oh my goodness, Eric Boardman held his line, and now he had the inside for the next corner, and he's reclaimed his spot. And he goes deep again, and they're going 2x2, 3x1 through here. Oh, we have a victim of the sandwich, Josh Damiani, and he gets hit as he gets done spinning. Oh my goodness.
Pull the replay
That
of the
did not end
VIP.
one. Ooh.
He was just sandwiched
Josh and
between
Eric
the two. Oh, and then Looper. No, obviously didn't mean to tap Damiani, but Damiani just got spun out of the track. Oh, that was crazy rejoin by Damiani. I didn't think he saw the car. He almost ended up tapping someone, but he's back on track now. So, oh, you hate to see that happen too. He was sandwiched between the two, and had basically nowhere to go. Yeah, and then Boardman had to come in, and you know, he was just there, a victim in the middle. And then Archie, who was kind of following everybody behind, you know, just kind of seeing what was going to happen. He benefited from the whole thing. Archie's moved up 5 spots. He started P9. He's into P4. So the biggest gain here so far among the top guys. So. And we got a little bit of an AMG battle there for P3 and P4 too. AMG's Archie and Ben Peterson. Teammates, different color combos it seems. Following Schwartz and Anderson on the PIP. Schwartz loses the rear bit, but so does Anderson on exit. So that's gonna be probably a battle for another lap. And Damiani's in the pits. Again, that hit probably gave him some damage. So. We have Schwartz trying to bait Anderson here, but Anderson does not bite. He had to take a very odd line across turn 1, and then Schwartz just glued on the inside. He sends it. And look at Schwartz, just absolute send it. I don't think Anderson was expecting that at all, and was able to make the, you know, take the position. Now he's up to P21. Switch the camera on PIP. Also Latuflin and Jason Allen. They're going pretty close here to turn 1. We saw Jason Allen super late on the brakes. You have a little bit of an admin battle going on here.
Who's the best admin?
I know, right?
I'm gonna find out.
And Al just holding on with his McLaren. Allen just not too far back with his Lambo.
I'm Team Al.
Oh, but he is the McLaren, so okay, I'm going to say Team Al as well. I'm always going to take the McLaren.
And he helps with the website, so
So
there's that too.
Look at that. Everybody just rooting for Al here. Look, nobody. All right, Al, Jason, I'll take your side then. All right, someone's got to root for you. All righty then. I switch my
Good
team.
guy, Al. Archie's last best lap of a 136.29, still holding. Feels not getting faster yet.
Yeah, well, he's the lowest on the 36s. Nobody, touching 35s, anything of that sort. But he's been pretty steady. I mean, he's moved up quite a bit. He's trying to get into a little bit of a battle with Man Pearson, who did start at the top, but again, a couple of shoves around. But look at that, Archie. And yeah, teammates, different color combos, but they're working together there. And Anderson not too far back there on P5, so. And Diggs and Dunham still going it. So Diggs, even though with a little bit of damage on his Porsches, he's not giving Dunham any. Oh my God, that was so close. Look how close Dunham is out on exit. Oh my God. They were practically touching each other out of that turn, and amazed nothing happened. Grabs that little bit of grass. That's going to affect his exit here. And Diggs lives to see another day there in P7. That's the nearest battle on the field. Looks like the field got a little bit spread out so far, which is unusual to see. But here at Indy, I noticed that yesterday as well. So a little bit of not as many battles. We see those really tight tracks and, room for more mistakes. And what I noticed here from Indy is that once the drivers kind of get on the flow, they don't make there's not many mistakes other than maybe going a little too deep on a turn. But if they're spread out, they're kind of on their own and they can correct. But looks like everybody's kind of got on that flow. And an update on the leaders, by the way, Reeves has that P2 over Man Pearson, as we talked about earlier, but he's got to make up 5 seconds to Semedo. So Semedo opening up little by little there, a P1 gap. Still 35 minutes to go.
Colin Dunham right on the back end of Max Diggs, just trying to etch his way to get even closer and hopefully make an overtake. But Max Diggs is looking pretty strong in front of him.
He's been under attack for, it's been many laps so far. And he's keeping that composure. Look at that. Look how close Dunham is near him. But Diggs is making his Porsche as big as the entire track. He just can't seem to find a way around him.
He's a boulder.
And just not enough, straight line here for Dunham to catch up to Diggs. This is going to be a scenario where he's going to have to get a really good exit at the last turn and maybe challenge him on T1. Or just take it to the pits. I mean, this isn't gonna go for many more minutes if he keeps on like this. So, but you can see Diggs just having a better end of sector 2 there, and he always opens up a little bit. But then you see here at the end, beginning of sector 3, Dunham is very late on the brakes. But then now Diggs went late on the brakes as well.
And see, this is not going to do it. He needs to get much closer than that.
Now it's just a pitter patter of a situation for Dunham. It's just like he gets there and then he just loses a little bit of time in the gap, and then he gets there.
Guy
That
man
Porsche
person gets
just
through
takes off.
Landon Reeves in turn 1.
On the inside he goes. Let's take a look at the replay. See how did that go?
I think he beat him on the
VIP.
last corner.
Yeah, looks like Dreves will be a bad exit. And Pearson said, I got to take advantage of this. And
Nails
you know,
it.
Dreves has to work. Yeah, he needs to work his way back up. He knows it. Samato's getting away.
Tomato's just walking away. He's like, all right, I'll just leave all you guys just battling it out while I just chill up in the front, grab my popcorn, and just wait for me to pit.
It might not stay that easy forever, though. Archie is through Landon Reeves, and
He
Guy
is. Oh,
Manperson
boy.
is lapping last lap a hair faster than Joao. And Archie
he
has the
is.
fastest lap, so if he gets released, who knows what happens?
Yeah, but one thing to point out here for the drivers that have already pit, remember Marek is already pit. He's speed 13 right now, and his previous lap was at 36.825, so he's also faster than both leaders. So, and he's kind of on his own on the track, so he's kind of hot lapping there by himself. You know, if these guys there at the top keep battling each other, that might give Marek here enough room to shoot himself up there when everything is sorted out after pits. So we got to keep an eye on him as well. He is just basically on his own. He got lucky. He's lucky right now, so. And on the chat, it's like Dreves just giving up positions. Yeah, I mean, it looks like there's just a couple of mistakes, and yeah, he dropped back quite a bit. So he's like a whole 10 seconds behind the leader, and he's under attack by Anderson. And you mentioned as far as, you know, if you want to, you know, why pit, you know, you should pit if you want to avoid battle. I mean, that's my approach to things, but sometimes some drivers want to take it on the track, but no, to each his own. So. And switching P14, there is a huge value. This is a great exit from Yarrington.
I think it's
onto the
enough.
Straight. Look at this. That is a McLaren battle. Yarrington's going to send it deep on the turn 1. Oh, he does.
Oh, he nails the apex, leaves enough room on the outside, closes the door just as he comes ahead.
Goodness.
Ooh.
Nailed it.
Clean,
Perfect.
clean, clean.
I don't think it could have fit a hair in between the bumpers there.
Yeah.
That was super close.
That was close.
So that's the type of move I was talking about earlier with Dunham and Diggs. That's kind of what Dunham will probably want to hope to achieve. Because he's still, yeah, Dunham's still behind Diggs. And Diggs, full effort on defense there, holding on to that P7. And now Troxler does have Wilson to worry about as well. So these three are coming together pretty good within half a second of one another.
It's just a McLaren battle at this point.
It really is. On exit, Troxler loses a little bit of time. Wilson's closing in. And these drivers have already pit, so they will be shooting up the standings once the drivers ahead of them gets their pit stop out of the way. So. The AMG teammates there, Man Pearson and Archie, just kind of, you know, cruising on their own. They cleared Dreves earlier and just kind of, you know, having a little bit of a cruise around Indianapolis every lap. And they've been pacing slightly faster than the leader, but Samato there with the lead is just a whole almost, well, basically 7 seconds ahead of them. And it's going to be hard to catch up. And Samato was basically cleared at the start and just, it's kind of been sailing on his own.
So I just I glanced at the numbers, and it looks like the difference between Eric Marecki and the leader Joao and the amount of time you spend in the pits in general.
Yep,
is
it's about the same.
Yeah, I think he's under it actually. I think he's currently in the lead.
Yeah, he would be joining together, if anything. I'd say because it's a 58-second difference to the leader, and pit stops here roughly, like if you nail this, 58 seconds. So that's going to be interesting when everybody pits at the front, and he'll be battling Semedo there for the lead, if anything. So that's it's close. It's going to be close if he keeps this up, and he's been
I think the
pacing
ball's
really,
in his
really
court
quickly.
because he's hot lapping. He's all alone right now. Fresh air.
Yeah, and he does have the advantage of being on track already, so if they come together...
True. He's got the inside of that corner.
Yeah, he does. And then you have more speed. So we'll see what happens. Something similar happened last night. We'll see how it plays out here on D2. And Dreeps, again, under full attack by Anderson. So Dreeps had pretty good pace earlier. He's just kind of dropping a bit. I'm not sure if he's having maybe tire issues. I mean, the track is up to 22 degrees now. And we talked about that earlier with the PSI range. And it's not something that he wants to change his tires.
Well, he goes super defensive here.
Yeah, on the inside.
A lot of time now. Brian is literally on his bumper now. If he keeps that up, Brian will strike.
He's not giving Anderson any chance for an attack. He said, "You are not sending your Lamborghini in here." I'm taking the inside line already, but it's going to cost him now. So there he is. He's trying to get the draft. And again, look at that inside line again.
He knows.
He's giving Anderson that hint that no matter what straight we're going through, I'm going to take the inside line. You got to go on the outside. That's what he's telling him.
It's all about patience.
We'll see what Dreeps does here again. It looks like he's going to take the outside line for the first time. He actually looks like Anderson just kind of backed off a bit, like, all right, I got you. I'm not going to attempt an overtake here. But Dreeps losing his car. Yeah, he might be having some grit issues with his tires. He's just getting really loose out of turns. And now Anderson trying to bait on the inside again, but Dreeps says, nope, not here again. And look who's joining in the battle, Boardman. Anderson says, forget it. I'm in the pit. I'm going to try to undercut you. We'll see what happens once Dreeps pits. And that little train there in P14 still going, Yarrington. And then we have Troxler and Wilson. They just, McLaren train going. As a matter of fact, if you take a look at this, there's P13 all the way through P18, just McLarens. And just a show of McLarens going on there.
Sandwiched by 3 Lamborghinis, Brian Anderson, P12, Matt Schwartz in P19, and Andrew Anderson in P20.
Yeah, but Anderson to pits now. He's gonna be coming down on that straight, but it's still a long path for him to go. As Anderson's still in the pits, so the drivers will pass him.
Well clear of him.
Yep. And there they are. See, this is what we're gonna see maybe later on with Marecki and Semedo for the lead. But look at that. Ooh, we joined right ahead of him. Right in front of him. So still
exactly
a McLaren sandwich. Yeah, he would have been mixed on that whole bunch. He would have been, well, now he's got to lead this string of McLarens. So, but that was close. That was a close call there. You can see there in the chat, Dan's like shipped it out of the pits. He definitely did. He just said, I'm out. Like, not getting behind his McLarens or in between them. I got to be leading them.
Look how close Arrington got from him there.
Ooh, Wilson taking that curb a bit too much. Just bouncing.
Yeah.
He may have lost a little. Yeah, he lost a little bit of time out of that, but it's just 4/10 from Troxclair. Still chasing down that McLaren train, along with Brian Anderson.
Yeah, 23 minutes to go, so I'd say about, basically about, 11 drivers have yet to pit, so more than half the field has already got there out of the way. But look at the exit from Yarrington onto the straight here. He needs to go on defensive mode here, and he does.
Right
Oh,
on the
boy.
slipstream.
Yeah, he does. He does not want to lose that position, and Yarrington's going to have to take the super wide lane, but he does look on the outside.
Oh, just at the rear fender, but it just didn't get enough speed to try to go side by side with Brian Anderson.
He tried to make that stick, but he's like, nah. We're
Yep.
both setting it. Who's going to break
yet.
later? I love that game. It's like, okay, you're going to do it? All right, me do. All right, you're going to do it? No, me do it. All right, we'll break together.
Oh no, Eric Boardman and Landon Drees
Greatest
just came
game
together.
Oh, boy.
Oh no.
Get a replay here
That
on
is
the
not what we want to
PIP.
see.
Dreamson wide on the turn, and he tried to put his car on the inside. That actually cost Dreebs the position entirely. It was just not giving up that position. Look at Dunham. That might have cost him also here on turn 1, but Dunham actually backs off. But oh man, Dreebs dropped down to P6.
Brutal.
Yeah, you just see that happen. And now, yeah, we have Boardman and Diggs got through, and looks like Boardman was okay. He was a little bit of a tab, but then Dreebs ended up getting to the grass and just losing a lot of time there. Yeah, I'm switching the PIP over just to that Anderson, the Arrington Troxler Wilson battle. Looks like Anderson got a mini break this lap. But, oh man. And Marecki, by the way, just a whole 13 seconds ahead of this group. So Marecki's just, yeah, he's, I mean, I'm telling you right now, he's been hot lapping 56 seconds to the leader. And as we mentioned earlier, 58-second pit stop is what you want. So Marecki is spacing faster than Semedo, and that might give him the win. I mean, there's still a lot of time left, but if he can keep it consistent like that he might have played this one right. Early pit and just basically undercut everybody in that sense. So. Right along with Wilson. We are currently on provisional P16. Oh boy, look at Anderson. Oh, a tap.
Oh no.
Looks like a, let's take a look at the replay and see what happened. I'm not sure if he spun. I didn't
Oh,
see
he
maybe a
spins it
tap.
again. And he's rolling again.
Oh.
And looks like, yeah, it was a little
Unlucky.
too deep.
Yeah.
Arrington laid on the
Little
brakes.
tap.
He's very lucky not to have gotten hit. Getting collected there.
So he
Yeah, that's
dropped
for sure.
P18. Anderson.
Oh
Man, so a lot of spots. Yeah, Carbo, Platt also made their way through, so he's not too far back behind Platt, but still.
And this battle has been going on for like pretty much a bit
Yeah,
more than half the
race.
race. Like it's just crazy so far. And they've all pitted too, so it's gonna go right to the end if everything is all clean between the three of them.
You know, everybody has been pretty consistent. Once these basically 11 drivers there get their pits out of the way, it's going to get bunched up once all over again. They've all been pretty similar pace, so.
interesting to note as well, man. Pearson Archie just kind of, again, the AMGs, they're P2, P3, just kind of on their own.
Yeah, no surprise
and
that they're
Allen-
playing it nice. Their teammates.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
just moving up together. Their pace has dropped a bit. Now they're on the low 37s. Again, tires are getting a little bit, say, more cooked at this point, but everybody's
Yeah,
on the 37s.
this is the part of the race where I was definitely feeling it. Getting very skaty.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, they're almost a whole second behind their usual fastest laps. So yeah, definitely getting loose. And Jason Allen in the pits, by the way. So he's getting that out of the way. And quite a few drivers have cleared. And Marecki 55 seconds from Semedo, the leader. So if this plays out the way he wants, this might give Marecki the win right at the end. And Semedo might not know what's going on. He's all thinking everything
Yeah.
looks good for
How
me.
would
I'm
he
in
know?
P1.
Yeah.
And then he pits, and all of a sudden, you see Marecki's McLaren just like, how is you 5 seconds ahead of me? What was that? So,
Surprise!
yeah, and so, you know, Semedo's got a radio in there. Sorry, we can't tell you anything, but pace up if you want to keep that lead. You think you're going to win, and it doesn't look, maybe, we'll see. We'll see what happens. And that's if, obviously, Semedo, even if he nails his spins, he still has to pit. Marecki nailed his. So,
Yep.
and it's interesting to see this McLaren group there with Yarrington, Troxler, and Wilson. Everybody has a different line out of certain turns as they're trying to gauge each other. Where can I possibly attempt an overtake the following lap? And yet everybody's just changing their own line. So they're just kind of, they don't know what to do between themselves. And then with that said, they just stay the same positions. Nobody changes. Nobody can attempt something on each other. So
Something's bound
they're
to happen
all
eventually.
put up with each other too.
yeah, I mean, it's been like this though. I mean, I'd say for the good 20 minutes, if not more.
Yeah.
And Dan there has a good point. He says Semedo might catch some blue flags before the end if he doesn't pit. And yeah, I mean, if we take a look at the map where he is, that's car number 53 there at the right-hand corner of the screen. He's getting close to some blue flags there, so...
Yeah, only 6 seconds behind. And
yeah,
Colin Dunham
I'll
just
be-
got around landed Dreves.
Oh, and Dreves another position.
Oh.
Still battling it out, but...
Oh, he got
Yeah.
a great run up his inside. Interesting.
And it's Dreves again having that grip issue. He might be having some tire pressure scenarios because he's been getting loose quite a bit.
Oh, now he's off track.
And he just went right off into the dirt.
Yep, he is in the dirt.
I
He's trying to
think
keep the car
maybe
together.
having tire pressure issues.
Ooh,
Quite
Yeah.
possibly. Yeah, he's kind of a little drifty
Riding a lot of
again.
curb there. Oh, and that's a lot of speed there.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. And the moment you
Oh,
put
no.
2 tires outside that curve,
Yeah.
you're on a rail. You're a
You're done.
monorail. You don't have steering
Yes.
anymore. Monorail.
He went
A little bit like,
He went to the beach a little bit and back into the track again.
I think he wanted a little vacation for a second there.
But he found no water. He's back on the track. He's like, all right, this is not fun. I guess I'm coming right back.
Diego says this is a small chungus activity.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
this
we
is
know
interesting,
that.
this race. Look at all the teammates have found each other.
Yeah,
The,
they have.
the Beamers have found each other.
Yep.
The Porsches
Yeah,
have found each
Borman,
other.
yeah.
The McLarens have found each other. I mean, the
Yeah, we have
Mercedes.
Beamer,
excuse
yeah.
me.
Yeah, Mercedes, AMGs, Beamers, we have Borman. There's just sitting at top, and we have a bunch of McLarens after, like literally P9 to P15.
It's going to make the team championship changes very easy to guess.
Oh, Troxler and Yarrington side
They're
by
going at it.
side.
Yep.
Will something finally change after the whole race so far?
Nope.
Oh,
Nope. Stay
Not
the
at
same.
all.
Just teasing.
They were just trying to like get our attention for a bit, like, hey, look at what we're doing, guys, and never mind. Oh, bad exit from Troxler. That might give Wilson a run if he can keep it close, but never mind. Maybe turn one they go.
Not likely. It's by 2/10, but that wasn't enough.
And look at the turn. Look at Wilson's. And Troxler grabbed a little bit of dirt there, and this might give Wilson a run, but he goes wide. And yep, he's
Now
got a
it's
little bit of a
getting
run
spicy,
here.
yep.
This is going to go to turn one. But not close enough. It looks like he might have just... He didn't want to push the car too wide where he might get a track cut there on exit on the last turn. So he kept it together there. And then we go again. Why not?
Same positions, nothing really changed. Down to the 13-minute mark, and yep, still nobody has switched any positions between P11 and P13.
Yeah, and an update there on Draves. He's got to be having some tire issues, guys. He's 25 seconds from Semedo, the leader. He was keeping it pretty close at the beginning of the race, so his pressures must have been quite high on the limit, and he might have gone over that cushion that, you know, and he's just dropping his teammates second there now, closing in just about a second, and he might just let him through if he's holding him back, but...
Your update for the race lead. Eric Marecki is still extending his hypothetical gap on Joao once he pits. He's pulled the gap down to only less than 55 seconds now. I think he's got in the bag, and he's going to have some room behind him when he leaves those pits.
He's the only driver on the 36, is actually a high 36 on the last lap, and Semedo with a 37.2. So he's building up that little gap that we don't see yet, but once Semedo pits, oh man, he's not going to be happy. You know that.
Yeah.
Unless he's listening to us.
Yeah, that's
If
the only
he's
way he
listening
would
to us.
possibly know if he's got this in his ear.
It's like,
Good reason
you
to
need to
tune in.
pace up. And it's a battle going on here as well. Diggs and Dunham for P5, provisional P5. Dunham looking to break up that team there. He's got his McLaren basically right in between. We have Van Pearson Archie there, and then Boardman Diggs, and then Dunham, and then we have Dreves in second. So
Jared Seckham into the pits.
look how close Dunham with a... He's got a real good sense of car, I'd say, of his size of the car. I mean, I would not be... I don't think I can drive too close. As close as I've seen him, I would be scared to just end up tapping the driver ahead of me. So I keep my distance when I see him driving this close.
Oh, look at this. Whoa!
Wilson.
Andrew Wilson wanted to go around the outside of Jared Trox there. Jared pulls to the inside and brakes super early, and Wilson just totally missed his spot.
And that gives Yarrington a little bit of a breathing room, but hey, still same positions.
Yep.
Yarrington,
exactly. I was just gonna say.
He has not changed. Oh man, these guys are going at it.
Actually, I think there's a little train starting to form between those three McLarens now. Carbo and Platt.
They're all joining in
Also
for the fun.
Anderson and Schwartz. Yeah. Maybe a little spicy if everyone just comes closer together later on.
Yeah,
We
10
shall
minutes
see.
to go.
Look at this. Jared Seckham leaves the pits right behind
Oh.
Eric Marecki and Matthew Schwartz. Oh, no,
Oh,
excuse
wow.
me. Never mind. That's the HUD didn't
that's-
update. Right, never mind.
Yes.
My
Yes.
bad. That would have meant that he was P2.
P2, yeah, no, that was ACC not giving us the full update on the standings. Diggs and Dunham in the pits, by the way. Let's see what happens here between the two. They're literally glued together.
Diggs and
Get that
yeah.
on the PIP. And they
Speaking
were
of
basically,
glue,
you know, I think Dunham just said, I might try to undercut you here if Diggs is not able to nail his pit.
Leave that camera on them. I want to see if one of them
Yes.
messes up. They will switch
Diggs,
spots.
yeah, Diggs nailed it.
And looks like Dunham actually did not. So Dunham, long pit stop for him, 8 seconds. So Diggs will have a little bit of a breather, but he's going to have to deal with him for another 8 minutes or so.
Oh, Andrew Anderson getting a little squirrely there, trying to follow Matt Anastasi.
But Diggs, Dunham, yeah, they both come out. Troxler they all cleared him. So Yarrington, all the drivers who pitted early have now been ahead. You can see Diggs joining right behind Wilson. So again, that whole mid group is going to be a huge battle to the end of the race. And leaders there, top six drivers left to pit. They're waiting for the last minute.
That's what I did.
Yeah, and you come out, you just casually get a podium. No problem, Jess. No problem.
There were a few problems, but we managed.
Tires being one of them, that's for sure.
4 of them.
Oof.
And Dunham with that extra pit time that he unfortunately didn't nail his pit stop, now has to worry about Platt. Not too far back. And you can see they're not basically football at this point, about 3 seconds ahead again. Diggs, a little bit of breathing room for him. And interesting to see Dreams waiting to the last, basically, 10 minutes of the race to pit. Again, he must be having some tire issues, and at least when he pits, you might have a lap or two to maybe enjoy a little bit of grip until he's back out on the track, and then get that heat on the tires once again. He definitely, I mean, from what we've seen, he should be having some problems with his tires. So.
DC says Joao's got to pit soon because it's going to run into blue flags soon. Yes, he is. He's only got 2 seconds of clear air in front of him, so I would just do it now. That's time to show him.
Yeah, Marecki with a 54-second gap. And
But he elects not to. He's going to do another lap.
He's gonna wait to the last minute, maybe another lap. He's gonna really push it. Hey, that was a race that Samito actually had an issue with pits. I remember, if I recall correctly, that might have been Nürburgring, where he didn't pit on time, or something happened. He actually dropped on standings, or he could have been. Yeah, there was last minute. He just didn't get into the pits, and ended up everybody that thought had basically got their fuel to the exact amount of time and laps they were supposed to. Some people end up running out of fuel because of that issue on Nürburgring. So maybe we're gonna Samito, don't forget to pit. Just make sure you get into the pits, man.
Landon Dreves is in the pits, and Eric Marecki is well clear of him.
Yeah, he's gone past the straight. Looks like Marecki's strategy might have just basically from the start just kept to himself, pacing on his own.
Oh, he's got to be gutted hearing all these drivers go flying by him. He just wants to leave already. The pits, why are they so long? And he's out now and clear.
And he comes out all the way in P14, but that's going to change. This looks like another 2 full pits. But that's a huge drop for Dreves.
He started P4. Wait. Oh yeah, he started P3.
He's P3. Yeah, he was up there. He had a great qualifying lap. He's been having some there's some issues with his tires. He's just super loose on most turns we saw earlier.
Dunham, by the way, P12 following Carbo, was P11, close by. Very close. As Dunham seems to find himself always behind somebody. He's just been following cars so closely. You feel like Dunham could have been a little bit ahead from some of these drivers, but he chose different pit strategies. But he might take Carbo here at the end of turn 1 and then get a better exit.
John Archie serves his pit, and he is leader of everybody who's pit. But I suspect, yeah, Joe Acevedo is probably going to pit in front of him.
And his actually
Dunham just
made
took
the overtake.
Yeah, he just took
Carbo.
the overtake on John Carbo.
Look at the replay. This is going into turn
Very
1.
clean. Oh, wait a second. Oh,
Oh! Wow, he nailed it. Amazing.
like Carbo went a
And-
little wild for a second.
And Archie P2, by the way, provisionary. Marecki does have the provisional lead, you would say. Now the Semato's in the pits. He's got an 8-second lead over Archie. I'm going to switch the camera over to Semato and see how Marecki gets close.
Here comes Marecki into the penultimate corner. Oh, and Andrew Anderson's yellow flagged and off track in the end of sector 1.
And yeah, he's dropping a few spots, but oh man, way off. And we can see Marecki there, 7, 6, 5. And he should be clearing Semato. And you see there, he passes. Yep, he takes the lead. Semato out of the pits for the lead.
Oh,
And Semato P2.
came out of nowhere.
Just a 3-second gap as we kind of planned it earlier. He was about 58 seconds, 55-second lead. So Semato out of the pits said, why am I P2? What is this? And there you get Marecki.
Yeah, he probably
Heck of
did not see this coming. But yeah, the
Yeah,
undercut's
he was
strong.
not expecting.
Oh, we got a side-by-side pit exit. And that's Max... no, that was Max Diggs. That was Eric Gordon.
We have Troxclair and everybody's bunched up now with all these just basically a minute and 45 seconds to go.
Ooh. Yeah. John Carbo and Cody Platt going side by side. A little bit of contact by the looks of it, but everything seems fine and dandy after that.
So Marecki with a massive undercut. He did qualify P5. So he just spit it earlier, hot lapped his way around, and yeah, it's basically a 3-second gap between himself and Semato. And John Archie P3 with his teammate Matt Pearson P4.
The window is now closed.
Have the pole position.
Oh, Anderson spun again. We'll catch the
Anderson
replay.
with some issues. Yeah, he's dropped a few more spots.
Oh, too much gas.
Okay, the leader is on the final lap now. Give it all you can.
Yeah, just a little too much, ended up spinning. And remember, by the way, teammates with Archie and Man Pearson. Man Pearson was ahead of Archie. And a little bit of a teammate undercut there going on between the two. But hey, they're teammates. They've got their AMGs there at the top. I'm sure they're happy with the current result.
Oh, it's getting feisty here. Look at this. Brian Anderson is really like getting squeezed by Dreves and Schwartz.
And also Borman and Wilson not too far ahead, but yeah, that group leading by Platt there is a huge, just about to be basically all within a second of each other. This is the last lap as Marecki would bring it home soon.
Our top 3 finishers are nowhere near close to anybody. Sky Manperson 1 second off of Archie. So our closest battles are for P7. And then the train
Yeah,
for P11.
Boardman. Oh, look at Diggs and Dunham. Look at that exit. Here they go.
The leader has finished the race.
And Eric Marecki crosses the line to win the race.
Takes that win.
And Dunham just not too far back. They're just gunning it for that position, and Diggs under full attack. They're side by side. Oh, he took him out. Oh no.
Oh, no.
That was not good.
Oh,
On the last
no.
turn, a little bit of a tap there between Diggs. Take a look at the replay as a Platt and Diggs just.
Oh my
man.
goodness. Oh, and he's just
It was just.
cratering
Right on
down the standings now.
Front lap.
Oh man, and this is just a little too much. And Dunham got loose. He tapped the grass and just tapped the side of Diggs. And then the whole game came afterwards, so Diggs dropped way down.
That is
Down to P17. Oh man.
that might be the most tragic race ending we've seen this season.
Ugh. Yeah, right on the last turn too. He
Yeah.
just got a little too much
Wow.
grass and curb and just went.
Just lost it.
That's it. Last to cross the line back there, Anderson.
Well, with that out of the way, why don't we go hunt down these drivers for an interview?
Let's see what they got to say.
Can you find any of them?
Let's see who's available. Where's our race winner? I think they're just joining in our voice chat so we can bring him over. I don't see them just yet.
Well, while we
Yeah.
look for them, I hope y'all appreciated the show. That was certainly as an exciting race as I was hoping for it to be. Hope y'all agree. Go ahead and share in chat who you think the race MVP is, if you have an opinion.
Yeah, Marecki with that massive undercut, I'd say since the beginning of the race. That's my take. He had basically a perfect
Yeah.
race. He was clear right off his pitted early, and just basically hot lapped. And all of a sudden, maybe he didn't even know Semedo was going to be coming out, maybe ahead of him because he was there leading for so long. And he's just all of a sudden, oh, am I P1? All right, we'll see if he says, we'll see if he can get him to chat in a little bit. Hopefully he's available. He had a heck of a race.
There's Joao. I'll get him in here.
Bring him over.
Yes.
Hey, Joao, welcome to the booth, man. Congratulations. Great drive. You want to talk about your race?
That was the beginning was kind of intense, a little bit messy, but went okay. And then I don't know what happened. Just the race pace wasn't quite there. Tons of understeer fighting the car the whole time. But it was a pretty good result. Super happy, super sweaty. But here we are.
Glad to hear it, man.
It looks like you took the championship lead going into the last round. Since Landon didn't have the best race, he looked like he might have some tire issues. But yeah, I mean, still
I think you're
P2. I
right.
know. Yeah, he might have shot himself up there to the lead. So hey, next week at the Glen, at least you go in with the lead. You should be in pretty good shape, I'd say.
Yeah, right
Let's
where
see,
you want to be.
I'm trying to do the most meet championship ever. Maybe try to win without winning a single race.
That would
That's
be
the
pretty
goal.
funny.
You're gonna have to revise the points because of me.
Yeah, add a more top-heavy point distribution.
maybe.
Well, how you feel about next week?
I mean, the track is super fun. I honestly don't have how the McLaren does there, but I assume it's not too bad. So hopefully we can put in another solid result. That's all I can hope for.
Looking forward to
Yeah,
seeing
based
it.
on the current standings, but I know it's provisional. Any penalties and things that get applied, but it looks like based on tonight's result, you have a 35-point lead going into the last round since
That's
Landon
huge.
didn't do so well. That's a huge lead. And Marecki with a race win, by the way. He did come out there and win with that
He's
undercut.
so
He's not too far
fast.
back. Yeah, he's pretty close. I mean, anything can happen. It's a night race next week, and I'm sure you'll be ready. You've been ready for practically every event so far, so it's going to be entertaining to watch.
Thank you.
All right. Well, best of luck. See you then. Before we let you go, anybody you want to shout out?
just the usual, the team and P1, great race. Congratulations.
All right, buddy. See you next time.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, take care, man.
Yeah.
What do we have? I was looking through the chat here for some reason. Where is our race winner? He's there. You want to pull into our race winner over to
Okay,
our
bring
chat
him
and
in.
see what he's got to say. All right, let me put him on the cooldown first. I don't want to scare him off. And let's bring him over. Here we go. There we go. Eric, race winner. Got you in the booth. How are you feeling?
That was fun but boring at the same time. I pitted on the track, but I never saw a car after that.
We were talking
Fun to
about it
do.
in the, through the race. A couple of guys mentioned on the chat that we saw your car kind of by itself there on the track map and just kind of hot lapping. And everybody started doing a little bit of calculations and seeing how long the pit entire stop is about 58 seconds. And you kept getting that gap down to 56 and then 55. And sure enough, there as Semedo pitted, you came right ahead of him. But I know it was boring, but you can't complain about the race result in the end. You take that win. Congrats, of course, man. That
Yeah.
was a great race overall for you. You worked out for your benefit, so.
Oh yeah. I was just glad nobody uh, in front of me decided to pit on lap one. If somebody else got in my way, it wouldn't have worked out that way. So it was just perfect timing.
Sometimes it works that way. In the end, you get the result that you really want, which is getting that first one across the finish line. And we're just talking with Semedo here a little bit earlier as far as going into the last round next week. You moved up quite a bit in positions. You're P3 now, and not too many, not too. I mean, basically about 60 points still behind from Semedo for the lead. But anything can happen, going into the last round and. You pretty much, I wouldn't count anybody out at this point. Quite a few drivers there with a high 460s, 458 points, and then submitted with a lead with 520 points, spending any penalties and things of that sort that we saw. But how you feeling heading into the Glen next week?
I like that track. We'll see how it goes. I don't know if I can make up 60 points unless something terrible happens, but I'm not going to wish that on him. So I just hope it's a fun race and you know, end the season well.
Nice. It is gonna be at night, of course, so that's gonna, just to add a little bit of spiciness to the end of the season.
I
But
love it.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it should be pretty entertaining to watch. But if you guys have anything else for Eric, our race winner.
Nothing from me.
All right, Eric, I will put you
I'm
back
gonna,
onto the race
yeah, I'm gonna,
chat then. Appreciate you tuning in, though. And
yeah, I'm gonna
congrats on the win
give a
again.
shout out
A great
to
drive.
Ryan Yee for
Hmm.
helping me with my controller settings. I'm pretty much gonna say if he didn't help me, I wouldn't have won. So
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice. Only from an alien himself there,
Nice.
Ryan. Well, why not? I'll take advice from any day. So whatever he does, whatever he tells me to do, I'll probably do. I don't care what it is. Nice.
yep.
Good to see you there at the
As long as it works.
with the win. Yep, it worked just fine for you. So and again, appreciate it. Good job and congrats on the win. I'll put you back on the race chat, man.
All right. Thanks.
You got it, man.
And
All
can we
right.
find John Archie? There he is. I'll grab him right now.
All righty.
Hey, John, welcome to the booth, man. Congratulations. P3, right?
Yeah, P3. Thanks, guys.
How was your race, man? I noticed you were near people pretty often, including your own teammate.
Yeah, I was in chat with Guy, so we were kind of just like, go, see if we can catch Zhao. But I think we were just like trading lap times for the most part. We were pretty equal on pace there near the end. So at the end, I ended up snagging him through the pits. I think he got moved a little bit, so that lost him some time. But yeah, it was a super fun race. I qualified a little higher than I'd like, but we came through at the end.
Glad to hear it, man. How you feeling about next week?
We're going Watkins, right? Yeah,
Yep.
Glen at night.
Yep.
I haven't done any in the Mercedes at Watkins, so that should be interesting. I did a little bit in the Lexus, like I think in the preseason break there, and it felt pretty good. So I got high hopes for a front engine car, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, we can pull out another W or P3 at least podium.
That would certainly help because before this race, you were so close with Eric Boardman and Matthew Schwartz on points. I think tonight was enough for P6. Maybe tomorrow or next week is enough for P5.
Oh, he's
Oh,
P5 now, ahead of
Oh,
Boardman
he
by
is
10
already?
points.
oh,
Yep.
really? Oh,
Yeah,
that's what we
Huge.
like
just
to
snagged
see.
that position. Yeah,
Well,
10
Hopefully.
P4 is
points.
within reach next week.
Yeah, and
Maybe
Wilson.
with a good result, something might be cooking.
Yeah, we got it's a 2-point lead from Wilson ahead of you. So yeah, that's gonna go to the last round.
Oh, okay,
Huge.
okay. And I guess that helped our team points too, eh? Guy and I, we were in second before,
Yeah.
pretty tight.
Yeah, that's huge for
So
the team.
yeah, so I'm really happy with tonight's result. Guy came out with a pole position, came out of nowhere. I don't know where he got that pace from, but that was crazy. So
Yeah,
I
you
was pretty
guys are in P2 for team standings now, if that was any different. But you're not too far back from P1. I mean, considering the amount of points you gain for two drivers, you're just about 70, about 80 points. And
Oh, okay.
you guys get a pretty good results at the Glen, and something happens with the Ghost Rider Racing Power Ranger team. You might
Yeah,
take the team standing at
I
the end.
know,
So
eh?
it's
The
not
Beamer
impossible,
boys.
but it's an unlikely
eh,
upset, I think. 40
Yeah,
points
because
each.
I think before this race going in, we were like 2 points separating BM Drive Vroom or whatever they're called. They were 2 points back, so
mhm.
I don't think they did well today. So that's good for us in the points at least.
Yeah, it's really bunched up there, like basically between I'd say, well, be P3 and down. It's a lot of close battles. But again, the team leaders, which is the Empire Rangers, with which we have Landon and Jared, they didn't have their best race today. So, like I said, if things change next week, like you could still take that win for teams.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty.
Oh,
That would be a comeback there. That would be
It'd
pretty
be
nice to see.
huge.
I don't know if I need to clean off some shoes or not. That might get a little interesting.
Yes.
Maybe it's looking there. Maybe it's gonna
Might
be
have to buy a new
close.
pair, fresh pair. But no, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. But no, that was a really fun race. Definitely kept me in my wits the whole time, being close to everybody. I know there was like one time, I think it was who was it, Boardman and Damani. We kind of went three wide around the hairpin there.
Mhm.
I'm not quite too sure. I think I saw somebody lose out on that, but I haven't seen the replay yet.
Yeah,
So
there was a little bit of a. I basically like it looks like Damiani ran out of space and he was basically squeezed. Boardman just kind of came back a little bit from the outside. It wasn't his fault. He was just trying to keep
okay.
on the line, and then just tapped him a bit, and you guys saw his Damiani's Lamborghini just kind of spun. And we're like, oh no, it was a good battle
Oh
going on
no,
there.
jeez, yeah, it was getting real hairy.
It was
First, I was
like,
thinking, I was like, I should have pit. I should have pit.
it's like too late now, man. Too late.
Yeah, exactly. But no,
Crap.
that was fun. But yeah, let's hopefully Watkins does us the same, and we'll shout out GRR. We've been crushing it in D2 this year, so really happy with Ghost Rider Racing. We've been crushing it, and my teammate Guy, and also Dan Cran. He's been helping us a little bit with setups and stuff from D1, so really appreciate his help too.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, but thanks again, guys, for doing the broadcast. Really appreciate it.
Thanks.
It's always
Appreciate
fun
you.
to go back and watch it. Hopefully, we kept you entertained out there.
Definitely.
Oh, we did. It was fun.
Oh yeah.
We'll see you next time
All
for
right,
next
guys.
week.
Yeah, have a good one.
All right, good luck, man. Congrats again on the top finish.
Thanks again, guys. Have a good night.
You too.
See ya.
And a huge thank you to our SRA sponsors and title sponsors supporting us here at SRA. As well as support from Documize, a modern business support solution for product management. Go to documize.com to learn more today. And support from Retro Saga, a North American-based gaming company that provides accessories to your favorite classic systems, including Nintendo, Sega, PlayStation, and much more. Enhance your retro gaming experience today at retrosaga.ca. And a big thank you to our affiliates, Track Racer. Experience redefined gaming with Track Racer's high-quality sim rigs and accessories. Use code SRATE at checkout to support us. And Armamentario, a toolbox for ACC that will enhance your chance to win. Enjoy a fully customizable and enhanced HUD to change the way you experience ACC. And to-go setups, premium esports setups for everyone. Use our affiliate link on our Discord and take your drive to the next level. And that's the last thing for me tonight. Do y'all have anything before we close it?
Well, I appreciate you guys letting me join in here in the booth once again. Didn't
man,
have a
always a
vehicle
pleasure.
to race tonight. We had some fun. It was fun, so I appreciate you guys letting me in. Good racing. Things getting into the. Can't wait to see the finale next week. It's going to be entertaining.
Yes,
But
I
thank
wish
you
y'all
guys.
luck and
Oh,
hope you have
I'm
productive
excited for
practice.
that. Yeah.
I know I'll be putting in a lot.
You know,
Yes,
it's
me
funny
too.
enough, the
Me
Glen
too.
it's I would say the Glen, other than out of the new tracks that we've seen kind of recently, it's like the one track that a lot of people were pretty good at. It's pace wise, it's going to be pretty close from what I kind of heard. Like, it's not a track that,
Yeah.
let's say Snetterton, not many people drive on it and all, but the Glen is going to be pretty.
Yeah.
It's going to be kind of gnarly,
People will be
especially at
driving to
night
their
too.
potential.
We'll see what happens next week. We got 1 week to go.
We will see you there. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
All right, good night, everybody.
It has been the longest off-season of SRA. The rust has been wiped off and the cars are revved up and ready to go. Welcome to SRA.
And we're off and away for SRA.